happens when the with expansion and movement, like in the wintertime, and there's all these bumps in the walls and shit like that. Yeah, it's really silly. And when they put the back porch on the house, they went over the shingles. There were cedar shingles. When I gutted the back porch, you could see that they just put the studs over the old shingles, so it wasn't even fastened to that. And then when I gutted the floor that I'm working on out back, the underside of the porch, the ceiling, it wasn't even lag bolted to the house. It was attached to the house with nails. Like that is totally illegal. Like you have to have lag bolts for the ledger to the house. Um, it's just yeah. I mean that was the previous owner, um, a weekend warrior kind of guy. But yeah, there's some questionable shit that's going on here. Trying to undo all the bad stuff and make it at least a lot better. Um, what can you do though, and not for nothing. A lot of this stuff happens. This stuff happens all the time, but there's just no one on the job site that, like, the homeowners don't know that the carpenters aren't doing stuff right. They don't know anything about this or that. So it just happens and it keeps happening. And if they can get away with it, then they get away with it. It's a goddamn shame. It's a goddamn shame. And then at some point, they don't even know they're doing something wrong because the guy that taught them to do it this way, and the guy that taught them, so at some point someone thinks they're doing it right, but they're doing it very bad job. Just like with the bathroom right on the other side of the wall here. Um, I did that whole bathroom. I framed out the shower, and then I've never done tile work before, and I didn't want to do tile work. Yeah, I didn't want to do tile work. I got plenty of other things to do, so we hired a guy to come in and do that tile work. He was doing it all wrong. We kicked him out. I took out all his work. We brought in another tile guy, and his work was so bad that we kicked him out too. And then I did the tile. That's just kind of how shit goes. It's like, I don't want to keep losing my parents' money on shitty contractors, so I'll just do it. And at least if I do a shitty job, it was done for a lot less than the shitheads that are coming in here. So if I mean, I did the whole shower. I did the whole shower for less than we spent on the other two contractors combined. It's like, man, they want $1,000 a day. I was like, what? You want $1,000 a day? Your work sucks. Even if your work was good, I doubt you're worth $1,000 a day. Like that shit you'd have to be shitting me solid gold Tiffany cufflinks for $1,000 a day, dude. I'm doing it, and I know I don't deserve $1,000 a day, and my shit's better than yours. A lot better. But here's the shitty thing about a shower. Here's the shitty thing about a shower, right? That's when the shower fails. Not only are you going to have to replace the shower, but it's going to damage your house too. You're going to have many problems, not just one fucking problem. That's going to rot out all the fucking the framing. It's going to do it fast too because it's going to go unseen for years. So you know, and people leave their bathrooms a lot longer than they quote should be left, um, to remodel them. Like our bathroom, we redid it, and it was almost 60 years old. So how do I know that? Well, because I read the directions on the shit they were installing. Well, the first guy, he was installing this thing called a Ouija board system, and you can go online and look at the directions. Um, and I've also done like waterproofing work before professionally, in my carpentry work. Sometimes you have to do some waterproofing, especially if you're doing anything around windows and shit like that. And I've done a lot of caulking. And I could see what he was doing with the waterproofing and the caulking was not going to do waterproofing or caulking, right? So I looked up I went on to YouTube, and the company that makes the product has videos on how to install it because it's supposed to be easy for a homeowner, right? So right away, watch a 5 minute video, and I could see that everything he was doing was wrong. So it was like, yeah, yeah, absolutely, Samuel. Um, yeah, it's a lot, and especially for a poor quality work too. Like if I'm paying you $1,000 a day, like that shit, you better be like one of the better available people to do that. But it's crazy. It's crazy. But that's the thing too. They just put up their web page. It says like they're the best, and they put up some. Here's the thing about tile work. You can make it look really good, even though it's really bad quality work. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying it doesn't look right, but it's gonna leak is the problem. Like you can make tiles look amazing, but it's gonna ruin your house still because it's gonna leak into your house. There's all these. They make all these systems that are supposed to work a particular way, and for it to work the way it's supposed to, it has to be installed correctly, and things can't be. The guy that put in the stuff. So when you put a sill on, the sill has to be tilted towards the shower so that the water drains into the shower, not onto the floor outside of the shower. He had the sills tilted the wrong way. Now, that's like a freaking beginner. That's a beginner mistake. This guy's been doing this for 40 years. How many people's houses has this guy ruined? You know what I'm saying? I've been doing it this way for 40 years. Well, this product hasn't existed for 40 years, but I'd hate to see the work you were doing before this. Oh, Yari, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. I'm just not. What the reason we're doing this is because this material. There's a couple of reasons. Uh, I need a workbench. Number one. Number two, these red oak beams were taking up so much room in my garage that I had to process them. And number three, uh, it's cold outside, and the other jobs that I had started, uh, we had to pause those jobs because one job I needed more red oak. I need to mill that red oak on the sawmill, and I need to move the sawmill to be able to mill the red oak. So, as usual, a catch 22, which you'll often. That's a recurring theme here. But yeah, we'll be doing all that stuff. You guys, like I said before, this is pretty much just you guys hanging out with me while I do my typical 9 to 5. Every project. And here's the thing. So when I started all this out, I was like, man, I'll do it all. I'll have the logs, I'll sawmill it, I'll do the sawmilling, I'll do the planing, I'll dry it, blah 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 blah. That's all amazing. It's an amazing opportunity if you have it, and it's really great. It's great to do it, but holy shit, like you're talking about doing like the same amount of work that like